Hello and welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. Now what I want to talk about today is that crash that happened in America. The Uber autonomous car crashed and killed somebody, and just want to see what everyone kind of thinks about it. Now they have released a video. I'll show you the video in a minute, and also they have essentially said it's not the car's fault or the driver's fault, even though it was in full autonomous mode, but it's not the car or the driver's fault because the person came out from the shadows. Now when you see the video, you'll see that the person came out from the shadows, and it would be very difficult for anyone to react because you couldn't see them until it's too late. But there is a but. This is supposed to be an autonomous vehicle. It has cameras on it, has LiDAR, has radar, it has absolutely everything on it to prevent this from happening. It shouldn't make a difference to the car whether it's night, whether it's day, whether it's anything, because the car can essentially see through all that. Not like we can, but you know, if it's light or dark, the car should see through it. Now there's been a couple of incidents also with Tesla. I can't remember when it was, but it was maybe a year or so ago, maybe a couple of years ago, where a big Arctic, or a big lorry should I say, or semi if you're in America, was pulling out, and the car scanned, and the side of the lorry was white, so it thought it was the sky, and of course because it's a lorry quite high off the road, it scanned underneath and just assumed there was nothing there. Now, and the person was in, again, driverless mode, and it crashed and killed the driver, I believe. So when these systems work, yes, they're supposed to be good, but something must have happened with the system. Now, I'm only speculating. I'm not saying that something did happen with the system. Before I continue, I'll show you the video. There we go. There's the video. And as you can see, the person came out from the shadow. The driver, you know, you would not be able to react in time. But should the car have been able to react in time? So that's what I'm going to leave it down. I'm not here to say who's at fault. I just want your opinions down there in the comments. Tell me what you think. What I personally think, they say we're only a couple of years away from, you know, automatic autonomous driving. I don't think we are. There's a couple of problems. Yes, if every vehicle overnight was autonomous, the system would work, because each car can communicate with each other cars, and they'll know exactly where they are, and they'll be able to, you know, figure out where each other's are. But that's not going to happen, and there's a in my opinion, there's loads of issues. One, they're absolutely ridiculously expensive. Not everyone can afford them. Even if a lot of people did, you're still going to have an old car which can't communicate with the new autonomous cars, and that could just throw out the system. Not only that, you do have to program in to the car essentially what if, you know, is there someone crossing on the road? What do I do? Do I swerve and hit a barrier and kill the driver, or do I swerve, or do I continue and hit the pedestrian? The car has to think that. So the car is essentially maybe putting your life at risk, where sometimes you might make a slightly different call in that situation, and, you know, either save yourself or save both or whatever. But anyway, that's the car's thing. So this is what I'm saying. Whoever programs it has to program it to make these decisions. Not only that, in my opinion, if we get too reliable on machinery to do everything, we're going to become lazy. Now, I know this is a Disney film, but if you look at Wall-E, when they're up in the spaceship, I'll put a picture up here, and they're all on them chairs, and they don't have to do anything because computers and machineries are doing everything for them. We will become lazy because it's easy.
Driving range and hit a few virtual balls in space.
Nah, we did that yesterday. I don't want to do that.
Well, then what do you want to do?
I don't know.
That's just the way we are. We will become lazy and just rely on machines to do everything. And then before you know it, Terminator Day, and we're all dead. But anyway, until that happens, when we're still here, we're going to be okay. So, that's kind of my opinion. The other thing is, when these cars are new, obviously that's great. The systems work. But as we all know, cars, components, anything will fail. Even the, you know, NASA rocket ships fail, you know, aeroplanes fail. The things that are absolutely, you know, checked and dribble checked and triple checked, they fail. So when your car, your autonomous car that cost you God knows how many hundreds of thousands of pounds to buy, when it's out of warranty, is the person going to be able to afford to keep it up to date, in the sense of updates, for example? They might be free, they might not be free. If you've got a car and it's, you know, $2,000 to update, are you going to update it? Most probably not. If it's free, that's fair enough. But when it comes down to people fixing it, now this happens in cars even today. People either fix it themselves and they bodge it. They either go to a garage and they bodge it. People bodge a lot of stuff. And are you going to bodge an autonomous car thinking, well, that camera that's gone is $5,000 to replace, but I can cross it out and make the car think it's there when it's not, because I'm saving £5,000. That's great. But then that camera is there for a reason, and you could crash or whatever because of that. So people are going to be bodging these cars. So when these cars are driving down the road at 60, 70 mile an hour, whatever it is, if you imagine, and I come back to Bob, if you remember Bob in one of my last videos when he did the wiring, we imagine Bob again. Bob is going to be fixing this car. Do you want Bob to fix this car? Because you could be in a proper car fixed by a proper person, and the car beside you could be fixed by Bob. And Bob doesn't really know what he's doing. And before you know it, yes. So, what is your opinion on all this? Like I said, that's my opinion. I don't think we're there yet. I think the only way this system can work properly is if every single car is autonomous. So that's going to be boring. Who wants... I like driving. I don't want someone to... Yeah, fair enough. Sometimes might want to sit back and relax. Missus is beside you. Happy days. But then sometimes you want to stick it down and you want to go fast. You know, that's what you want to do. So, what is your opinion on this? Like I said, there's going to be a lot more information released shortly on exactly what happened here. Was it a faulty in the machine? I kind of think it has to be, because the systems that are on the car are, yeah, they are top notch to what we have today. But it should have seen through the darkness. That's the whole idea of it. It shouldn't make a difference whether it's light, whether it's dark, whether it's anything. The system is basically blind to all that. It just sends out the radars and the lidars and all that sort of stuff, and it's oblivious to whether it's night or day. You know, so was there a fault in the system? Is it a perfect storm like the Tesla? You know, the Tesla crash is 1 in a million for that to happen, but it happened. You know, perfect storm. Is it a perfect storm for this particular Uber car? Most probably. Some, you know, just the way it happened, just perfect storm, and, you know, might never happen again. But these things happen and then they fix it. But, you know, how many people kind of, you know, have to die before they fix it? Yes, I know other people, you know, can drink drive and can kill other people. I realise that. But I'm just saying, you know, well, what do you think, essentially? This is what I think. That's what I said, what I think. I don't think we're there yet. I think there's too many issues with the system. There's too many people that could potentially fix it and not fix it properly. And it can just cause a big, big problem. So anyway, I'd be interested to know what you think about this. Leave it down, have a discussion, and tell me what you think. I just don't think we're there yet. It's as simple as that. I think it's kind of going that way. You know, I still prefer to drive myself personally. But, you know, I mean, how boring is it going to be, like watching Formula 1, for example, and there's just autonomous, you know, there's no one in it? It'll be boring. I mean, Formula 1 kind of boring anyway, because, you know, the way it's set up at the minute. But at least, you know, there's drivers and there's a bit of human error in it. But, you know, where do you stop? Where do you stop with all this sort of stuff? You know, I was joking about Terminator and Wall-E and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, especially the Wall-E thing, that, you know, in 1,000 years time or whenever, you know, that type of thing can really kind of come true if we're too reliant on technology. I love technology, don't get me wrong, but I think we're going a bit too reliant on it. Let me know what you think. And yeah, hopefully in the next, you know, couple of weeks we'll find out more information about exactly what happened, if something did fail or something along them lines. And yeah, we'll see. Don't forget, please like, share, subscribe, all that, all your comments down below. Don't forget, links up here, links down below, but most importantly, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted.